Okay, so let's trace model here in 3ds Max. So I'll go back here. So this is the two files that I have created earlier, the reference setup and the base mesh. And I also keep this opacity card. This is just a 1080 by 1080 72 dpi or 72 dpi resolution image of a black square. Later on I'll explain what is that for. Okay, so that's what we need, and then I'll just copy this address. That's a lot faster to do when you're working with file paths. Now here, all I need to do in this new 3ds Max scene, I'll just go to File, Import, and then I'll choose Merge. When you're importing a 3ds Max file in a 3ds Max scene, just choose File, Import, Merge. Then you just here paste in your address, and it's quicker, right? Rather than scrolling, searching for it. Now I'll just press All, OK, Z for zoom. So now we have this. We have the reference setup immediately there. Then I'll do another import and merge, and then it brings me back to that same folder. This time the base mesh. Of course, I'll choose the base mesh object. Now we have that. Next is the use of our opacity card, this one. So what I'll do is I'll go to the material editor. I'll press M. So this is the material editor, and then I'll create, let's say, an Arnold surface material, or let's just create a simple PBR material, something like this. If I double click this, there. Oh, but this is too much. There's a lot of options here. I'll just delete that. Let's just have this, a simple PBR metallic. There, this one. This one is a lot quicker. Okay, because what we're after is this, the opacity map here. That's what we're after. Okay, so let me just make this preview a little bigger. And you can easily click and drag to have that placed there. Next is this. Let's bring in the opacity card. It's as simple as what we have done earlier. I can just click this from another window and drag it into the material window, and there we go. There's our map. Okay, so the opacity card simply does this. I'll just click that node there and drag it onto the opacity map here, and then it will become invisible, or let's say transparent. So that's what we're after. We want the object to be transparent at times so that we can see through the reference model. Okay, so now I'll select this, and then I'll just name this material. Let's say I'll just name this modeling underscore material. That's it. Oops. Material. Okay, try with that. Now that I have this, I can easily go back to my object here. There, right? And then I can just apply it. I'll just select my object. I'll select my material, and then I'll just apply like this here. So now it is transparent, right? So if I press F3, I can immediately see through the model, and I can still see the wireframes. Okay, that's how easy this is. And if I want the material, I'll just press M, right? You can close this and then press M to bring it back. If you want it to be visible once more, it's as easy as, oops, sorry. It is as easy as just disconnecting these two. Alright? You can just select that node line there, delete, and it's visible again. Okay? Or undo, it's going to be transparent. Okay? So that's how we will be using that. And then let's start. Let's relay out this scene. So I'll just select this and then I'll set this to a 2-view layout. I'll press F, F3, F4. I'll press G to turn off the grid. So now I have this as a front view, and then this one I'll convert this to letter P or perspective view, so that I have that my 3D view there. Okay, now if I want to change the color of this outline or of this wireframe, I can select it. I can go to the modify panel, and then I can just rename it here. Sorry, rename. Click that color swatch here, and then I'll just click this white color. So now, even if it is not selected, it is colored white. Okay, I'll save my work. I'll go to my location once more. I'll rename it to 303. This is going to be my trace base for 3ds Max. Saving that. So now I have this file. All right, and the next thing that I will do is I will start doing my backup within the scene. So scene backup means, since this is an original object, this is a base mesh object, it's an original, so I'll just move it at the side. Okay, and then I will hold shift and then I'll drag to create a clone of it. There's the clone. I'll set it as a copy, and then I will rename this trace base. That's it. So now you have two. You have a trace, you have a base mesh, you have a trace base right there. So now I can hide this base mesh as a backup, so I don't have to worry. And then I can select this, have it at the center of the x-axis, 0. Okay, so now it is at the center. Next is I can collapse all of this. Right click, collapse all. Do not show again. Hold yes is like, it's just like saving. Hold yes. Okay. So now I have that. Pressing G to turn off that grid. So now we are ready for the trace. So I'll see you on that second part of the video.